Jimmy Kimmel is supposed to go on late night TV every single night for Disney's ABC and make people laugh, make them have a good time before they go to sleep. Get your Z's with Jimmy. But folks, he is not doing that. In fact, he's doing the opposite. With a contract ready to run out and no plans to extend, Jimmy Kimmel is giving Baghdad Bob a run for his money. Propaganda and hackery, you bet. But last night, perhaps Jimmy finally went too far.
It might be surprising for those of you in other parts of the country who have been watching cable news and believe this city is some kind of totalitarian hellscape.
Hello, folks, and happy afternoon. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to cover the unrest, the chaos that has taken over Tinseltown. Holly Weird is weirder than ever before, and there is nobody, perhaps, as strange as Jimmy Kimmel. Marvin the Movie Monster is here to help us untangle and take apart the falsehoods being promoted by the not-so-funny late-night man paid by Disney to create sham after sham. Marvin, how are you, sir?
I'm doing better than the poor folks over in LA right now, poor business owners and property owners. And I mean, it's a nightmare, but not if you listen to Jimmy Kimmel. Apparently it's just business as usual. They're sitting in the street and singing Kumbaya and braiding each other's hair.
That's right, folks. It's a nice summer of love over at Holly Weird, according to Jimmy Kimmel. It's Summer of Love 2.0. Let's dive straight in as we do click the like button. And here we go. Jimmy Kimmel on troops in Los Angeles. Disgusting and unnecessary abuse of power. Which, by the way, Jimmy Kimmel is a late night TV guy, and I can't tell you how many times I turn on old reruns of Johnny Carson or Jay Leno or Conan O'Brien, any of those guys, David Letterman, and this is what they were talking about back then. These kinds of things. No, they weren't.
Never.
Late night TV wasn't like this. It says Jimmy Kimmel tore into Donald Trump in front of a full house in Hollywood, which might be surprising to you in other parts of the country. Yada yada yada. You know what? We'll just play it, folks. Here's what Jimmy had to say, and then I'm going to juxtapose this con man with reality. You ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, hit it, Jimmy.
You see here we have a full house tonight, as we always do here at our studio in Hollywood, which might be surprising for those of you in other parts of the country who have been watching cable news and believe this city is some kind of totalitarian hellscape.
How dare you all watch actual news? How dare you? You should be on X, by the way. That's where you need to get the news. But anyway, folks, how dare you use your own eyeballs? You listen to what Jimmy has to say.
Right now, it most certainly is not. In fact, let's take a look outside, because I want you to see what it's like in Hollywood right now. You won't see this elsewhere on television. Not only is it not an apocalypse, they're having a Disney Pixar movie premiere right now for Elio, a movie about aliens. Don't tell Trump, he'll send the Green Berets in too. But
I just want to show people one more time what he displays. Marvin, you notice anything about the area they're going to be doing the big carpet walk? You notice anything?
Well, it's completely closed off to the general public.
Holy moly, Marvin! Jimmy Kimmel has his proof that there's nothing going on in Los Angeles. There's nothing going on in Hollyweird. He uses a video of a completely blocked off area, unopened, totally to the public, because Jimmy Kimmel doesn't want you folks to know about this. We'll play it, folks. Here's just a run through of what LA really looks like. Marvin, is this CGI?
No, nor is it AI. This is just vile to the eye.
This is what Jimmy Kimmel doesn't want anyone out there to know is actually going on, right? He wants you to think that it's all sunshine and roses. What's amazing about this, Marvin, is that he would get up there and say the things he said and show selective video taken in one of the most touristy spots where, of course, they're going to do everything they can to prevent it from becoming like this. And he even uses video where it is behind walls paid for by the Walt Disney Company. And Marvin, I'm looking at, earlier today we did a video about Terry Moran being fired from ABC News for his falsities. We talked about the FCC investigating Disney. Jimmy Kimmel didn't get the memo. And I don't know if he has his contract currently written, and we'll have to skip that. Yeah, we'll have to be careful about that one. We'll skip ahead, folks. But I don't know if he has his contract written, with some sort of whatever it is that Ariel signed that contract with Ursula with. Maybe he is Ursula. there is something that is preventing Disney from firing this man. But he's bonkers.
Well, I mean, he's trying to say because things right outside of his studio or right in front of the theater where they're doing a Disney premiere are not currently on fire, that means there's no problem. Los Angeles is 502.7 square miles. I don't think anyone thinks that the entirety of it is aflame right now. But I mean, the fact of the matter is there is violence going on. There is a mandatory curfew put in place by the city government for safety reasons. That's not something you do because there's too many drum circles.
You know, this is kind of like Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il. It's like them saying, hey, check out this fancy restaurant where I'm dining on rack of lamb or you know, I've got a filet mignon. Don't look in the countryside. Don't see the starvation. That's Jimmy Kimmel. That's the level of nuttery that he is. And he does not, I'll promise you this, Marvin, he does not want to explain something like this. This is a letter from the United States Senate from Josh Hawley, chairman of the subcommittee on crime and counter T-word. And it is sent over to the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. It's a question into whether or not there's organized T-ism. Folks, you figure out what that T-word is. Let's just say that wouldn't be happening, I don't think, unless we had this happening. And what this is definitely not what Jimmy Kimmel says is happening. Let's go now, though. Let's go to the article. Jimmy Kimmel says there are no LA, well, we'll avoid that word as well, but there's no chaos in Los Angeles while the city burns behind him. Marvin, you have written this one. I want to thank you. This is a phenomenal article. I recommend everybody go to that marketplace and read it. Jimmy Kimmel is being called out for allegedly gaslighting the American public on Disney-owned ABC after delivering a fiery monologue downplaying the chaos erupting across Los Angeles this week in what is being called LA riots by many. In a show filmed just blocks from looted storefronts and burning cars, the late-night host dismissed the reports of unrest as nothing more than political theater, orchestrated by the Trumpster and cable news outlets. There's no riot outside, Kimmel told his audience, mocking coverage of the ongoing raids and federal troop deployment. He said, we have more so-called unrest when one of our teams wins. So there you go, folks. It's not real. Jimmy Kimmel says it's not real. He says it's not real. But that's not all, Marvin. If we go over to the Daily Beast with Michael Boyle. No, this is not owned by Mr. Beast. Completely different thing. Jimmy Kimmel trashes mentally ill Trump for disrespecting Gavin Newsom. Well, we're not going to play everything that Jimmy Kimmel said and did. I'm just going to say this. This was an unhinged rant last night. And I don't see how Disney can grant him more time. Marvin, Kimmel has suggested in the past he's unlikely to sign another contract with Disney. I think the feeling is mutual, but I think Disney needs to find whatever clause they can to get out of this. This guy's crazy. He's nuts. What say you, Marvin?
Oh, yeah. If you want to see what he said without having to actually watch his smarmy face contort into smirk after smirk as he bloviates and lies to you, you can go to the That Park Place article. We have a whole list of all of his unedited quotes from that. If you scroll down a bit there, Pro, we have an entire section that is just all of the quotes on what's going on here. This is everything that a lot of the things that he said, which is just Marvin, all unhinged.
Read some of these for us. Read some of these for the audience out there.
There's no, I'm going to paraphrase and say chaos outside. We have more so-called unrest here when one of our teams wins a championship, but that's not what you're seeing on TV. Trump wants it to seem like anarchy, so he goes around our governor. He calls in 4,000 troops from the National Guard, 700 active Marines. You know, when we had the wildfires that devastated big chunks of our city, he did absolutely nothing. I seem to remember him trying to do quite a bit and being stonewalled. Now that we're in the middle of a non-emergency, send in the National Guard. Everyone in this room right now knows that none of the doomsday scenarios the president and his minions keep imagining aloud are remotely true. There are no mobs. There's no violent issue. There are Americans who are upset, marching to protect their neighbors no matter what this sick person says.
It's not happening.
Yeah. No. And there's no looting either, I'm sure, right? It's just, what did I call it on the Pro Show the other day? Unprocessed customers running into the Apple store and buying phones that eventually brick on them and scream.
They're just prepaid buyers. They're just in a hurry. They want that liquid glass bad. Gotta have it. Marvin, here's the deal. Jimmy Kimmel he's a hack. He's a propagandist. He's a nut job. He will say anything. There is no truth that matters. But most importantly, he's not funny. There's nothing about him that's funny. He's not trying to be funny, and he's ineffective, right? He is a legacy news kind of guy who loses every time people turn on X or YouTube or anywhere else they go to get their news. Jimmy Kimmel just lies. And I don't know why Disney is keeping him. I listen, he needs to get the same Terry moron treatment that Terry just got fired. Jimmy Kimmel needs to be fired. He's crazy.
Well, I mean, what you see with Kimmel, the funny thing is he used to be funny when he had teeth. You know, when he was out there doing the Man Show, or when he was on the Comedy Central Roast and he was making jokes about Chris Benoit and about, Katrina and stuff like that. Like, he actually used to have teeth and was like a comedian that pushed the envelope. And then he embraced woke Hollywood. He embraced the Holly Weird and just became, much like Stephen Colbert, just completely void of any and all humor. Everything is about politics now. Johnny Carson wasn't sitting there making, nonstop jokes about the Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever that, you weren't seeing things like that. I don't know if he was on the air during that, but I digress. You know what I mean? They weren't sitting there dedicating the entire show on the Tonight Show to be about the president, about politics, and about partisan nonsense, and let alone spreading willful misinformation about violence that is happening right outside your door.
Well, folks, I recommend that you get over to That Park Place and read the entire article. It is a damning piece of journalism into Jimmy Kimmel and what he's been up to. Marvin, you've done a marvelous job. Folks, also get over there and become a VIP of thatparkplace.com. It's $5 a month to become a VIP, get access to every single article, including the VIP articles. And boy, oh boy, Disney just cannot get out. They filled their ranks with people who are absolutely filthy false in everything they say and do. Jimmy Kimmel is one of them. I have no love lost when this man is let go. I think he is just a detriment. Frankly, the only good news is that Jimmy Kimmel comes on late enough that hopefully the people where his ratings come from in assisted living are already asleep by the time that he comes on the tube. Marvin,
airports and whatnot.
That's right. Marvin, tell the folks out there where they can find you and get even more info when it comes to everything entertainment, wrestling, and beyond.
Sure, you can check out Tooneytown Wrestling and Tooneytown TV, my two YouTube channels, where we're going live every Tuesday and Thursday night. Thursday nights, we have Toonie Talk TV, which is our live stream pop culture podcast, which, we have had a ton of fun on there lately. Pro, you were just there for our last episode. We played a really fun game show where we guessed the movie from its 1-star review, which was a huge crowd pleaser. And hope you guys will join us over there. And of course, make sure you're checking out thatparkplace.com every single day for 8 to 10 articles on everything that's going on in the pop culture world.
I can guarantee you, folks, it's better than Jimmy Kimmel. There is no doubt in my mind it will be much better than Jimmy Kimmel. By the way, folks, we want to welcome you to watch the Pro Show tonight. If you're watching this video at the time of release, 10 p.m. Wednesday. And for those of you wondering what the schedule is for Pro Shows, we go live Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are live at noon. Hope to see you soon, folks. Like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything to do with poor Jimmy, who only knows how to lie. Folks, don't be like Jimmy. We'll see you real soon. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Okay, these colors just seem to conflict with your natural tone.
Wilton, what are you doing?
Obviously, we're getting Jose ready to throw his name in the hat to be the next CEO of Disney.
That's ridiculous. He's not qualified for that kind of role.
Well, of course he is. He's a wonderful candidate for a corporate puppet.
What on earth is happening?
He's literally a foreign agent by all accounts. You think honoring boundaries is a thing? No! This is Disney! He's got diversity points, green skin, and a wig. And most importantly, he likes to destroy things and blow them up, whether they're from the past or from now. He shows no discrimination.
Okay, you know what? I really can't argue with any of that. So,
Right?
you do have fun. I'm gonna go read thatparkplace.com and watch WDW
Okay,
Pro.
bye. Okay, Jose, say magical experiences.
I already hate this.